it not? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Delete everything, you know, we're gonna start over, okay. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Joy. I'm a licensed hairdresser and I'm here to teach you how to never have a bad hair day again. Today I'm back with an important video to keep not just your hair on point, but your health on point. Today, as you can see by the title of this video, we are going to be discussing synthetic hair. Is it toxic? Is it not? What's going on? You know I'm all about empowering us to make better choices for our health. Today I'm going to be empowering you on how to make better choices for your body. So stick around because this one is crucial. If you've been living under a rock, Consumer Reports recently released a statement stating that synthetic hair not only has harmful chemicals, it has also been linked to harmful carcinogens. But they received a lot of backlash when they made this statement by black hair chemists such as Javon Ford. Javon Ford states that they did the study based off of ingestion and not scalp absorption, which is how we wear our hair. No one is eating their synthetic hair, so you know that does make sense. And he also said that there was no peer review, and this is typically not how a proper study is done. So in conclusion, he said no, and a lot of other black chemists that live in the beauty space said, yeah, absolutely not. This is not conclusive. We do not agree. You did this wrong. And because of that, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I said, let me get my Bill Nye on and deep dive this topic with you guys. I definitely went to Google and Google had a lot to say. Synthetic hair has been a staple in the black community for decades. Not only is it known for its affordability, it's often a go-to for in the black community because not only is it affordable, it's also very versatile. It has been used for braided ponytails, slick back ponies, box braids, cornrows, twists, whatever you can imagine, you can do it with synthetic hair. But it does come at a cost. I remember the very first time I got my box braids, or the very first time I started braiding my own hair and I was using synthetic hair. I've been using synthetic hair since I want to say I was like 5. So this was really shocking to me. What I have discovered is how unregulated the hair industry is. Unlike foods, cosmetics, or a lot of other things that have regulations, hair is not regulated. That means the business or whoever the manufacturers can put a lot of chemicals that the consumer doesn't need to know about according to our laws. Manufacturers, distributors, you name it, do not have to disclose the ingredients that they are using in the hair care products or hair in general. Hair is $1 billion industry, especially when we are talking about the black woman's dollar. Who cares about ingredients or health consequences when there is money to be made? The majority of the hair that we are receiving typically is made in China, and most of the names that are recognizable for synthetic hair are going to be Bobbi Boss, Expressions, Outre, Sensational, and so much more. A lot of these names that we're also familiar with are all under one parent company by the name of Henna Rebecca. Henna Rebecca is the largest hair distributor in the game. With the lack of proper regulation, the brands don't have to disclose what ingredients they're using. They just get to sell as they please and pocket and profit off our dollar. And on top of that, a lot of us aren't sitting here considering what are we putting in our hair, what's going into our hair. We're just thinking about what's going to make me look good and what's convenient for me. I'm going to be reading off of my notes, especially once we start discussing ingredients, because a girl cannot remember those chemical names. Anyway, I really want to remind you guys that your skin is the largest organ in your body. So keep that in mind. And you need to think about, what is your scalp made of? Your skin. So whatever you're placing in your skin, it not only it's absorbing it. So think about when you are putting the synthetic hair on your hair, your skin is absorbing whatever is in that synthetic hair. Here's a list of common toxic chemicals that have been found in synthetic hair. Kanekalon hair, which is really popular because it matches our hair texture best, and it also has a resistance to unraveling, creating lots of longevity for us, is made out of, and I'm gonna butcher this, acrylonite and vinyl chloride. Both of these are toxic to humans. Acrylonite is classified as a potential human carcinogen by the Environmental Protection Agency, and the National Cancer Institute links vinyl chloride with leukemia, rare forms of liver, brain, and lung cancer. The Health Administration only recommends the exposure rate of vinyl chloride and acrylonite to 8H. I do not know what the H stands for and what that is like in terms of, like, I don't know, units of measurement. But stylists usually use, I'm going to say 8 to 26 inches for extensions. And they're normally using, I'm going to say between 3 to 7 packs, depending on the hairstyle. And that can sometimes equate to an exposure rate of 800 grams. I don't exactly know what 8H is, and I could probably look it up right now. I guess width, so 8H, so 8 wide, I guess. Other harmful chemicals that can be found in synthetic hair are PET, also known as polyethylene, polypropylene, and polyvinyl, also known as PVC. All of these chemicals are linked to a wide range of health issues, such as skin irritation, respiratory problems, and even cancer. You can even find heavy metals such as lead and cadmium in your synthetic hair. A study done in 2019 by Donna Austin and Shelley Miller found that synthetic hair emitted VOGs, or volatile organic compounds, which are commonly found to be toxic and carcinogenic. VOGs are emitted through the hair when heat is applied to them. With the common practice of dipping our hair or using fire to seal our ends, just imagine how many VOGs you're exposing to your body. Their study led them to find that synthetic hair is a possible source of asthma, which affects Black and Puerto Ricans at a disproportionate rate than our counterparts. 26 million people in the United States have asthma, and Puerto Ricans and the Black community make up 10.3 to 13% of that population, while other communities only make up less than 8% of the population. What's the difference between them and us? It's definitely our hair. Braids are usually worn from 2 to 4 weeks or 2 to 4 months, if you really want to drag it out. So your body is exposed during this whole entire process, from when you're braiding your hair to sealing your hair, all the way to when you take it out, to these chemicals 24 hours a day, between 30 to 120 days out of the year. And think about when you take them out and then you go and you put braids back in. So your body can be exposed to these chemicals for 365 days of the year. Obviously, those toxins are going to accumulate and lead to long-term health issues. Majority of the Black women who sit in my chair are complaining about their scalp issues, their scalp is dry. And I'm gonna say, at least, let's say I have 20 clients, only 20 Black clients, only 3 of them come to me without scalp issues. All of the other ones seem to have some type of scalp problem. And it's not just Black women, but Black men in general have a higher rate for some reason of us having scalp issues than our counterparts. Why is that? What's the main thing that we're doing that they're not? They're not oiling their scalp. They're not wearing synthetic hair. They're not going to the beauty supply shops. You need to see the major difference in our culture and in our community between us and them. We also do not wash our hair as often. So all of that leads to dry scalp. I have aunts that literally cannot put synthetic hair on their head. It can't even last an entire day because their scalps react so volatile to the synthetic hair. And I find this as a blessing because once you put that on your head and your scalp is itching like crazy and you can't keep that in, that means your scalp won't even allow you near those toxins. And they honestly have to end up spending a lot more wearing human hair because their scalp cannot stand any type of synthetic hair. A lot of the health risks that are associated with synthetic hair include endometriosis, hormonal imbalance, and cancer risks due to the prolonged exposure to toxic fumes, especially when heat is applied. You need to think about who is being exposed to these VOGs when you steep the hair in water, when you burn it with a lighter, you have kids around, you have grandparents around, your hairstylist, and you are all inhaling these fumes. And a lot of the times when you are doing your own hair, you aren't in a well ventilated area, causing not just your skin to absorb these toxins, but your nose, your mouth, all of these things are all being basically put into your body. All of these health risks plague the Black community at a disproportionately high rate. Insane. Especially, I cannot tell you how many friends I have that suffer with endometriosis or PCOS or lots of different health problems relating to hormones and lots of hormonal imbalances. And you need to think about what is the difference between us and them. So what are healthier alternatives? What can we do instead of using synthetic hair? You can look for non-toxic synthetic brands. There are not a lot, and you honestly have to be careful because some brands have a lot of misleading packaging saying that they are flame retardant, that they're hypoallergenic, and all of those brands still don't list their ingredients and they are still toxic. It's really, really hard to even just go into the beauty supply and trust any of those brands. I personally wouldn't trust any brand. The one brand that I have seen that claims that they are using a new braiding fiber goes by the name of Easy Braid, and they are using a fiber called Spectra. And when I tried to deep dive to see exactly what Spectra is made of, it's not there. It's not there. But according to their statements, they claim that they do not use any of the harmful chemicals that I have listed before. So that's something that you want to give a chance. If you want to give a chance, try it at your own risk. The safest option is obviously going to be human hair. I know that that isn't as regulated as well, but less toxins are put into that. And there's also a lot of people saying that you could use apple cider vinegar to wash off the toxins, and all it's doing is washing off the topical toxins. You have to think about the entire hair fiber of synthetic hair is just specifically made of toxins. If you watch any video from any Chinese manufacturer relating to their hair, all of the people are wearing gloves when they handle this hair. Why? And they're not just wearing gloves, they're wearing masks, they're wearing all these different types of things to protect themselves from the braiding hair they're selling you. Like, that's crazy to me. The best route to go is definitely going to be human hair, but I also understand that that is heavily expensive, especially with how often we have to style our hair. And human hair can be reused, but girl, it's so much easier to just cut the hair, comb it all out really quickly, toss it, and get a new pack. But there have been a lot more Black-owned plant-based synthetic hair companies popping up, and you really need to consider that this is the new alternative. It does come at a higher price tag. We're used to paying $1 per pack, and a lot of these brands are starting at about $30 per pack. And considering the fact that we need about 5 to 6 packs, and we still have to pay a braider or a hairstylist to do it, hair is getting pricey. But you also need to think about the alternative is your health. Cancer treatments, hormonal treatments, just going to the doctor in general is going to be 10 times more expensive than you using these brands. A couple of the ones that I have found are rebundled. They are plant-based braiding hair. It's made out of banana fiber, and their hair is compostable. They start at about $36 a pack, and they have 5 different hair colors so far. Nori is another plant-based braiding hair that's made out of niacinamide and ginseng and rosemary. It's vegan and compostable, and they have 3 different hair colors that you could play with, and you could order them off of Amazon. Easy Braid is going to be the cheaper alternative because I believe it's only like $5 per pack. But once again, you're taking the risk because they haven't listed their ingredient list. Their only ingredient on the pack is called Spectra, and allegedly it has no toxin. So you have to take that at your own risk. Another alternative, and I know you guys may not like it, is gonna be just to wear your own natural hair. Learn how to play with your own natural hair. It's the perfect foundation. Once you get comfortable with it and once you find styles with it, you shouldn't have to take those health risks. Synthetic hair may be affordable and convenient, but the risks just outweigh the good. These health issues are way too serious to ignore. It's time for us to take action, not just for ourselves, but our community. You need to think about the first time you ever had synthetic hair put into your hair, and you need to think about the girls, the boys, and the community that's going to follow after you. How do we set a better standard for them? We need to call out these hair brands and ask for, 1, warning labels on packaging, and also non-toxic alternatives. They have the money to do the research to make sure that we are not putting toxins onto our hair and into our body. They owe us that. Stop shopping with these toxic brands. Keep calling them out on social media. Write them letters. Let them know you will no longer be purchasing their hair until they make the changes that you need. Synthetic hair may be affordable and convenient, but it's not worth the health risks. It's time for us to take action. It honestly breaks my heart when I see 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds with synthetic hair and being exposed to these toxic chemicals. The best thing to do is to call these brands out and demand regulation for the hair industry, and to demand clean ingredients, warning labels, and so much more. We deserve that. We deserve to have good hair. We deserve to know that what we're putting on our scalp isn't going to harm us in the long run. Our money is worth so much. We need to stop lining their pockets with this and take it back until they make a change forever, not just for us, but for future generations to come. Hold these brands accountable, demand clean ingredients, comment on their Instagram, comment on their Facebook page, write letters, write emails demanding clean ingredients. They should not profit off of our hard-earned dollar and they just give us toxins. That's just not fair. We need regulations that protect us. If we can push for clean beauty standards in skincare and makeup, we can push for clean beauty standards in hair care. Let's start calling out brands to stop using harsh chemicals and demand transparency in what we're putting on our heads. Thank you for watching and being a part of this very important conversation. I want to know what you guys have to say in the comments. If you've ever had an itchy scalp, or if you've ever had any type of irritation once you've put synthetic hair on your head, let me know. Let me know your story. Let me know your thoughts about these studies. I will be linking all of them down below so that I could get your thoughts and opinions. Remember to stay informed, stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.